We are going live. We are live now. So, awesome stuff, but we're going to go see... This is going to be... I have to just go down to twitch.tv real quick. I also need to check some recording levels and stuff, but... Levels... That's a little too high. Okay, 20 is good. Now, twitch.tv... And this is going to be... Oh, shit. Hold on, I need to back up for a second. Nope, I do not want that. This is going to be... I want to say... Hold on, I need to... Sorry, I just have to back out real quick.
The host has left the game.
Yeah, I said I have to be right back. Which is a pain.
So do I click OK?
Yeah, and then you'll see my game again. Black Dragon versus Pain. I just gotta double check some other settings because we're cool. Backup.com. Because this is what all the cool kids do now, Sheen. Or Saint Skelly, I should say. Now we're gonna go to Clan League. We're gonna go down to LRM. No. Clan Pain is what they're. Clan Pain update. Okay. So, alright. We should be good. I did updated it. We are online because we're cool, and yeah. So, pretty much what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be going into our 2v2 because that's what all the cool people do nowadays. And the map's going to be Python, so let's go quickly look down this map real quick. Python. I believe it's going to be the map. Yeah, Brood War. I want to say it's 6. Yeah, okay. Now... This game was back played back in the summer. Okay, so shall we get into this game now? Series number 1?
Sounds good.
Alright, so without further ado, we're getting in our awesome and epic game, peoples. Now it's going to be game 1, series number 1 between week number... iCup Clan League, week number 4... epicness, week number 4 between Black Dragons and what appears to be Clan Pain. So now spawning in the north part, it will be the the purple Zerg, Black Dragon's Irish, and then his other Zerg opponent who's going to be spawning at the just the bottom of him will be the teal Zerg Pain's Michael. And spawning in the south position, it'll be the blue Protoss Black Dragon's Hexa, and we're going to be seeing Pain's I Love, who's going to be the purple Protoss. So it's going to be a Protoss Zerg versus Protoss Zerg now, and we do have our epic and awesome caster Saint Scully with us today. So feel free to say anything you'd like to.
It's great to be here, Jamie, and I'm glad to be casting. And now, is this like an inter-clan match? Like, they all seem to be from the same clan.
No, they're from 2 different clans, actually. So, yeah.
I heard, like, Black Dragon, Black Dragon, Black Dragon, and then something else.
No, it's actually Pain. It's actually the other clan.
That's what it was. So, the guy, purple guy is Irish, and then the green guy is Pain. Alright.
Yeah, you can figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to be just getting up these overlays all up and ready. And it's going to be Michael.
Alright, seems like green, teal is scouting his own ally, which seems a bit odd, but...
Okay, teal... I always hate doing the first initial things live. Okay, that is not teal.
Yeah, teal, right? Top.
Oh, yeah,
right.
No, I'm trying to find the right color for Michael. That's way too big. Okay, oopsie. I'm really bad at doing this live. Okay.
This music sounds like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, does it now? Really?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's Brood War music. I mean, let's be honest here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And, I mean, you can't really complain too much, right? I mean,
No, just making an observation.
yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, I see how it is. But yeah, it sometimes gets a little bit repetitive in my opinion. But, yeah, so while we're actually getting back into this game right now, it looks like we're going to be seeing Irish be going for somewhat of a mass link style right here, not really getting the layer quite yet compared to the... Well, he's getting down a macro, so Irish is going to be getting down that macro hatch right now. And going to be able to pump out a lot more lings than what Michael's going to be doing. But Michael's probably just going for fast meterless as it stands anyway, but not quite saturating that extra gas yet.
Alright, now I can't tell what... it looks like Irish is going for early ling. You think he's going to rush? Yep, it looks like he's about to rush.
Yeah, let's see here. Irish is going to be, what, purple?
Yeah, purple guy. Yeah.
Maybe Irish, yeah. Maybe Irish.
Which is ironic because you'd think he would be green, but let's move on. All right, so it looks like they're both ling rushing, both Irish and crap. Who's the teal guy again?
Teal is actually going to be Irish. Oh, no, Michael is going to be.
Michael, yeah. Teal and Michael seem to both be ling rushing.
Oh yeah. And let's see here. Okay, Hexa is not orange, but Hexa is actually going to be blue. Sorry about the actual taking for forever long to actually get this.
So this is a 2v2 PVZ match, I believe, and it looks like, yep, the I Love Pain's going to be heading right into a massacre of a massacre of lings.
Yeah, I mean, what Payne's doing, he's gonna be taking like a Tane on Irish right here, which is gonna make it really annoying to get those lings out here. But we're gonna be seeing.
What was that?
But we're actually gonna be seeing they're actually just gonna be going for it right here. And the problem is, I mean, we're gonna be seeing Michael's lings be able to do a lot more damage here.
What was that?
What? What's happening?
What just happened there?
Well, they're able to push up right here, and the thing is now what's going to happen with this push right here is that they're going to be able to do a lot of damage here. But keep in mind though that Irish will have those two hatcheries to get that many more links out. This is the second thing does go down though.
Somehow they got lurkers, and I can't understand how that happened.
Lurkers. There are no lurkers.
You don't see that people exploding for no reason.
Those aren't lurkers. Those are sunken colonies, which is what their static defenses. But yeah, these lings are gonna be actually ransacking this base right here. Gonna be doing a lot of damage to that mineral line here, and giving Black Dragons Irish a very difficult time to actually hold this off here. And once that layer goes down, I mean, pretty much Irish is gonna be pretty much killed off in this game here. But at the same time, we're gonna be seeing Hexa doing a counter push onto Michael's base here. Gonna be actually doing a lot of damage here, but there are two suns right there. But maybe 4 zealots, if they do target fire, might be able to do enough damage. But keep in mind though that Hex is Michael's actually losing a good amount of mining time right there. It looks like both targets will be falling down right here, but there should be these links should hopefully be able to clean these up as these zealots are very low on HP. No, actually, there's not quite yet, but that should be more than enough links to help with that. And at the same time, we're going to be seeing Hexa look like going to be going for the Citadel tech, maybe going for fast DG.
Well, it appears that Irish is out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing he can do right now. What they might do is leave the extractor so he's still like spectating. But I mean, really, in the end result, they really can't help out that much, and it's going to actually ultimately cost him. Well, might actually really cost Black Dragons his game number 1 in this series. So, I mean, keeping that in mind right now as well. So, we'll see how it's going to play out.
Well, you can see his hatchery spewing like a fountain out there.
Yeah, and it has gone down. But I mean, the benefit that what Pain Clan has going for them right now is that, I mean, their Zerg is not knocked out right now. I mean, that's the one thing they do have going for them right now. And sure, they'll be handicapped for quite some time, but he does have 2 hatcheries, so he should be able to join up, as fast as possible as he possibly can. But it looks like Hexa does not want any part of that, and we'll be pushing up to that his base right here, and even putting down Pylon. But there are going to be zealots there on hold command though, and we'll have to be pushed back because of the dragoons right here.
It appears that blue has been supply blocked for some reason.
Blue, which one? Protoss or?
Yeah. Protoss blue.
Yeah, Protoss. Well, not really actually. He might have just
okay.
Yeah,
well,
might have just finished out of the pylon. Okay.
He seems to be playing mostly macro. Hasn't really sent out a lot of early game aggression. He did set out 4 zealots, and it appears that both the Zerg opponents have been defeated, which I find interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what we can see from right here though is that a lot of the time Zergs will go for a lot of like all-in kind of base play, just so they allow their partner to macro efficiently. Because if both players try to macro, try to get up some economic lead, try to get up some kind of additional tech, they also just get raffle stomped right here. But a nice surround coming from Pain Clan right there, getting complete surround coming out from I Love and Michael right here, and should be able to clean up these Dragoons right here. And they're really not doing too much to the drone count right there. Maybe gotten 2 drone kills so far, but I mean, in the end result though, he's going to be doing a lot of economic damage. As there's 2 drones that he does not have, and then leaves I Love's Dragoon count down to what it looks like to 1 now, or drone count to 4, which was 6 now, but going to be bringing down those 2 extra drones over there. And looks like we're going to be seeing Michael going down to try to do a counter push onto Hexa, but not really going to do too much as their DTs are in position to deal with this right now. And I mean, it's something that you could actually wall off that ramp with like just hold position DTs.
It would be kind of strange for him to wall off at this point in the game, though. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, it appears that Michael has a substantial force, so if Hex walled off, it wouldn't really be.
Yeah, and I mean, I Love actually is able to actually get up his own DT, and with Lings in the base, gonna be able to do a lot of damage. And this might just be the game-changing thing that Pain needed to actually have there. There's the GG by Irish, and there's the GG.
Wait, just GG,
or just X doesn't even GG out. He just leaves. But what have you? That ends this game right now. So,
right.
Talking about that game real quick, I think what the main problem that we saw is that we saw a joint attack, and Michael, I mean, Irish wasn't able to hold off for that long, so what happened was, well, he was struggling to actually come back and trying to hold off that early game pressure, which oftentimes you can get a better arc with your Zerglings and help defend, but, and then I Love was going for, I think, a 2-gate pressure, but wasn't really able to help out as it was cross positions on this 2v2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just, since they eliminated Irish early on, they should have been able to just take this one completely. But for some reason, it appeared that, even though his opponent was, or his ally rather, was being taken down, Michael seized the moment, and then no, sorry, not Michael, Hexa, no, yeah. Okay.
Hexa sees the moment. Yeah, there's a lot of players. Don't worry.
Hexa seized the moment and killed off Michael. But even though he did that, he still didn't have the, I'm so confused now.
It's okay, don't worry, but we'll just go on to game number 2. Now that means though, if
I need like a roster or something.
Yeah, it's sometimes really difficult to tell. But the game 2 will be on Fighting Spirit, and Fighting Spirit, if you guys don't know, is a very, very well-known map. So we're gonna have to see how this is gonna play out right now. So, without further ado, are you ready, Saint Scully?
I'm more than ready. I was born ready.
So let's go jump into this rep right now, and we're gonna see if Pain can just get a just 2-0 Black Dragon right here. What's the matter? Oh, you are lagging out.
I was kicked off for some odd reason, and
well,
my mouse
that is
now,
okay. We'll just wait.
My mouse is stuck in the top left corner of my screen.
Did you game freeze?
No. Well, what happened was the game exited, and now I can't move the mouse outside of the top left corner of my screen.
Do you know the command to force quit on Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah, just force quit.
Okay.
Awkward pause.
There we go. That's better.
Okay, and then just relaunch it. We'll be right back.
Also, the volume was a little bit loud on mine. I'm going to turn down the StarCraft volume.
That's fine. Just make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, I mean, can I turn down the StarCraft volume independently and not?
Yeah, you can do it in game.
Yeah. Okay. Multiplayer.
Alright, so we did see, so we're going to go into game number 2. We're just waiting for Saint Skull to get back in our game because we're awesome like that.
Here we go. Okay, I'm in.
Okay, we're back in the game right now, and the game will be Fighting Spirit again. Let's hopefully the game doesn't crash for him this one more time. And yep, how it's going to go down right now. So it's going to be game number 2. Keep in mind, guys.
Now, who are the players here?
Now, spawning in the top right will be the red Protoss. Oopsie. The red Protoss, I Love, Pain's I Love, and then spawning in the top left, it will be Black Dragon's Irish, who's going to be the brown Zerg. Spawning in the bottom left, it will be BD Hexa, or Black Dragon's Hexa here, and then finally spawning in the bottom right as our last player, and it will be the blue Zerg, Payne's Michael. So let's go change up these colors real quick. So we're going to be seeing Irish is going to be our awesome red Protoss. Let's go make that a blood red color now. It will be these locations I think are a little bit better, in my opinion, just because.
Well, they're at 4 corners of the map, whereas the other one seems sort of like slanted, so one side could definitely gain an advantage over the other one as far as distance goes. Even though they were equally spaced between each other, it seems kind of odd that they were just at such weird positions.
I mean, you have to keep in mind, though. It was very, very far away spawn locations, and now we're going to be seeing, on the same side of the map here. So we're not going to be seeing cross locations. So even though Fighting Spirit's a bigger map, we're going to be seeing though that. Potentially, we could see, joint attacks and help defensing from the ally here, which, otherwise sometimes it's very, very difficult on a map like Python when you have cross positions. And, Black Dragon's going to be on the left side of the map, and, actually, Payne's going to be on the right side of the map.
It's kind of like, have you ever played that, game, like, Team Fortress Cracker Ball in, like, an arena?
No, I
when
haven't.
You're out, it's ironic because their allies are much farther away than their enemies. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of team action going on here. I think it's going to be 1v1, a lot of 1v1 play.
Hello.
And I think there's my dad in the background. But we did see a gas deal from I want to say actually. Oh, yeah. We did see a gas deal coming from I Love right here, and gonna be able to do some.
I see.
Which is actually gonna really put the hurt, because now we're gonna see we're pretty much restricted Irish to go
now,
pretty much.
It appears that Irish was planning on going like early game mech. So I mean, maybe not mech, but he needed gas. That's the point.
For who?
The brown guy, Irish.
Irish can't go. It's Zerg, so they're all bio. But yeah,
I know. But you know what I mean.
He's gonna go if the tech options are now limited to pretty much massling, and in a way it puts back I Love's tech. But I mean, does the scouting information, knowing that that's going to be the case there, does that worthwhile? But we're also seeing an additional gas deal coming from. I believe Hexa onto Michael right there, so he's actually killing those.
So it appears that. Basically, the playing field has been leveled. Both of the Protosses have stolen gas. However, it appears that Michael definitely took care of that much more professionally and sooner than Irish.
Yeah. So I mean, he got another gas deal right when that was supposed to morph in right there.
That ever happen to you? I hate that.
No, it actually. Well, I don't play Zerg. I play Terran anyway.
I mean, yeah, but still, if you don't wall off properly and then they get in and they start cheesing you, it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really wall off. It's really hard to. You have to kill off the scouting probe to stop this gas deal. But the problem is, I mean, Michael, if you're gonna compare the Zergs for both players here, Michael has his expand, he has his gas going, he's gonna be able to get that layer up. By the time that we're gonna see the layer coming out of
here's Michael's going for an attack, taking on 4 zealots with what looks like 8 lings.
Yeah, it's not. He can't. He's just setting up a contain right now. He can't break through that. He can't get us around on that. So he's just putting some pressure on. He just knows if Hex is gonna be pushing out, of course. So
isn't that the whole point of the observer?
Well, I mean, he doesn't have but you keep in mind that Michael doesn't have an observer. Michael doesn't have an observer, and he's a Zerg. I mean, he has an overlord there, but it could get sniped off, and having a couple links out there, never a bad thing. And
Irish has gone massling as we predicted earlier because of that early gas steal. Now he appears to have about equal numbers as far as him versus Michael. So right now we're seeing a lot of dancing and stutter stepping, and really not a lot of attack.
Yeah, I mean, just starting to saturate that. The Irish starting to saturate that.
All right, Hexa has moved his zealots out a bit, and
he's probably gonna help push. He's gonna help go push out probably most likely.
He's probably gonna push out and help Irish in the fight. Now, it seems that I Love is just doing very little. He has 3 zealots in comparison to Hexa's like 6 and plus Dragoon. So, as far as the numbers go, Payne is definitely at a disadvantage, and Black Dragon has the numbers advantage. And unless we see some great microing here, it's not going to go well for.
You actually swapped up the players. But
I swapped it. I thought Michael was Payne, and
yeah.
I was right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I Love actually has a decent amount of.
They do, but
yeah.
it's not as much as. And I don't see why Irish is retreating like this. I mean, he's just losing all of his lings.
He can't engage with. There's just too much
Well, he
stuff
is
coming from
engaging
Michael
now.
right here.
It appears that he's actually doing a fair amount of damage. Now, what needs to happen here is Hexen needs to get those guys up. He needs to move out those Dragoons, too, because if he attacks now, he could probably take out Michael if he tried.
I mean, the one problem that I'm just going to be seeing here is that I Love is putting on aggression here. He's teching up, which is going to put the hurt in the mid and late stages of the game because you know Irish is restricted. He has a second base and he has gas enough for layer, but he just can't afford to actually get that.
Well, he
layer.
just tried to compensate essentially the lack of gas with a Zerg expand. The only problem is.
He can't afford to even drone up at all. He actually has to go and produce a whole bunch of units here. And if you compare Michael, who've gone through an identical build here, he has his Mutalisks coming out right now. I mean,
and we're seeing a DT entering Irish's main, and he does not have an observer of any form, so he's not going to be able to do anything about that right now.
Yeah. The benefit though is that he does have the tight wall off right there, so he hold position those Dragoons there just to make sure the DTs don't go in there.
No. I'm talking about Irish's base. Irish has a DT in his base, and
it's stuck. Oh no, it actually got through. I was going to say Hexa had was able to hold that off. Oh, you said Irish?
Yes,
base?
Hexa was. But
Irish, yeah, he does have a base, yeah, but he does have overlords though, keep in mind. So actually, sometimes DTs aren't as effective against Zergs as overlords are sometimes in position.
What we're seeing here is a great combination by Payne, both I Love and Michael. See, what happened was Michael took the brute force of the army, took just mass-produced cheap units, and then he took most of their attacks, while I Love seemed to go more technical units in. Then it really has paid off because they weren't able to attack I Love, and that's a GG.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were saying though, I mean we saw better tech in general coming from Payne Clan, and that ultimately pays off if you're able to get that tech out. Now,
well, you got it.
Well, you have to understand the fact though. I mean, we saw Irish take a huge amount of gas deals, wasn't able to compensate for it, and really ultimately just couldn't get his tech out and forced massling. And when you have that knowledge of when they're going massling, you get units to compensate for that. We're going to see Michael cram out a bunch of links of his own self, and we're going to see a high Zealot count coming from Payne. I Love to really deal with that. And I mean, Hexa in its own regard didn't actually help out that much in this game. I mean, if Hexa was able to help out that a little bit more, help out those engagements in the center.
I mean, like I said earlier in the game, it's going to be very hard in a map with that proportions to actually have any sort of team combat because your enemies are far closer to you than your allies. That's the reason for the gas steal, and also why there wasn't a lot of combination going on there. In the center of the map, there was a fair amount of team conflict. However, they really couldn't support each other, and that was what led to their downfall. Because what Payne Clan did was one of the guys sent all these lings. I think it was Michael sent all the lings into the center, so they couldn't get to I Love, and then I Love teched up, took it, and then had DTs and eventually High Templars, and it was just too much for them.
Yeah, and I think. The one thing that I would have to say is that Hexa really needed to be more active. I couldn't. I mean, the problem with it, of course, the DT was in the base though. But the one thing they could have done, was just the ability to go run in and just try to go for an all-in push. But I mean, when the Mutalisks came out, it was they just didn't have the tech that they needed to compensate for that. I mean, Hexa needed to get up a high Dragoon count to deal with that, or to deal with the Mutalisk, or he needed to go a lot of Zealots and just push up the ramp and just try to do as much damage as he can. I mean, that's the best thing they could have done there, but ultimately did lose that series. So that means though that BD Black Dragons did lose that series, so that means Payne is ahead 1-0 in this series so far. So keeping that in mind, we're going to go series number 2 and of this epic clan league. And you guys ready to join? Are you ready to hop into this game?
Ready to rock.
All right, let's go into the actual game here. And I forget these actual players' names, but we'll get the overlay up and running. because that's what all the cool players are doing. And yeah, so spawning at the map is going to be Pathfinders, and spawning at the north part of the map, it will be the red Protoss, Black Dragon Blade, and then spawning at the 3 o'clock position will be the yellow Protoss, I Love, or Pain's I Love. So I Love is actually going to be coming back from this. Yeah.
Now I'm interested to see how I Love fares by himself, because it does seem like in the previous games he was relying a little bit more on his ally Michael. So I'm interested to see if he'll go late game tech like he did last time, or will he be more proactive and aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing though is when you're a 2v2 player, your timings are different. Now, again, if that translates into this game, we'll have to see. But I mean, you have to realize the fact that maybe I Love is a mixed player, does know the timings of both matches up, or the timing of being a 2v2 player is a lot different. Sometimes in 1v1 players actually have difficulty with those timing pushes. So we'll have to see if that's going to come out, if that's going to be available in this game. But we'll see.
All right, and it appears that Blade is scouting far earlier than yeah, he's scouting earlier than Pain. Sorry, not much earlier though, and it really won't help that much. So, kind of an irrelevant observation.
Yeah, I mean, it's never a terrible
and
thing.
It seems like they're attacking each other. Now that's going to actually delay. That's going to delay Blade's knowledge of what Pain has in store for him, so he might be able to get a split-second sort of adjustment to his strategy, and then work out the kinks.
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing here is we're gonna be seeing a PvP. I mean, that's in its own right. I mean, Destiny Zerg. I feel like Destiny Zerg is the opening, but it's gonna be a PvP. Now, I mean, oftentimes you can go a 1 gate into Fast Cybercore and then go Range Dragoons, or which is what both players are doing, or you can go more the 2 gate pressure. So I mean, the whole reason for the early scout is just to understand what your opponent's doing. I mean, any kind of cheese is going to be happening. It's going to be really terrible on that.
We're seeing mirror build styles, and it seems that Pain is a little bit behind, only by a second or two. But in late game, that could be a big difference. And Protoss tends to be a later game player. Now he's moving out. He has a zealot, a single zealot, and it appears that so does Blade. Okay, so they both each have 1 zealot. Not going to be a lot of combat going on early game, I can already tell. But let's see where the game goes. They both seems to. It appears that they both seem to be going mass econ.
Well, actually, I disagree with that. They're teching up to what Cybercore is, as you can even see right now. I Love is actually going to be putting out another gateway, and I think we're even going to be seeing probably another gateway coming down as soon for Blade here. Now, Blade again is a little bit later in his tech, but he may be pumping out more units than what we're seeing coming out of I Love here. Now, that PvP is going to be a very aggressive stance. I mean, you can even see
it looks like Pain's going to go for some sort of a harass here, which is not going to be very successful because Blade has. He has 2 zealots and he only has 1, so it seems like a bit of a waste. But it looks like he's just scouting. Actually, no, wait.
Well, he's gonna poke, and I mean
he's gonna harass.
Yeah.
It seems just like a waste because he didn't actually kill any probes per se. So he's not done anything with that zealot. So he should just probably pull it out. It seems like a waste.
I mean, I want to say though, I mean, if he's gonna be able to get away with the zealot, well, no, it looks like he's gonna keep it in the base. So, but what this is doing, it's keeping Blade preoccupied, trying to micro against this thing, which may additionally just further delay his tech. I mean, keep in mind though, I mean, Blade.
I mean, what's the point of? I don't think he has to micro against it. I think he just has to tell the zealot to attack it, and that's pretty much it.
But I mean, keep in mind the Dragoon. I mean, if they're just auto attacking, the Dragoon won't catch up to it, which will actually end up killing all. I mean, the longer the zealot's in here, the longer that I Love knows exactly what he's doing. And I mean, we're seeing a probe going in for Blade into I Love's base here, but but it is a lot weaker than what a zealot can. So you can actually afford to take a couple.
That probe has been there the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, the problem that you have to understand though is like that pressure just f's up your build order. And when Blade's behind, it's going, and especially in a mirror matchup, it's just not going to be very, very good. I mean, we're going to be seeing 2-gate pressure from both players right here. Nothing.
We also see that Blade is storing up much more gas. He has much higher resource count than I Love, and I think that's probably because I Love pumped out a lot more units quicker, and it looks like he's going for an earlier attack right now. And I don't think it's going to be very successful because Blade has the ramp and about the same amount of units, so it's really not going to help him at all. It's probably going to end up in a retreat as well.
Yeah, I mean, Blade's going to have a high ground advantage, which means that he's going to have a better engagement.
The unit advantages. During the battle, he can pump out more units and get them there faster.
I mean, yeah, now, we're seeing 2-gate onto 2-gate pressure, so yeah.
It's probably going to turn into a contain at most.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the one thing you have to worry about is these zealots. If they close in the distance from the Dragoon.
And he's continued to engage. He strongly believes he can win this one, and it seems just futile.
I mean, yeah, he's going to have the high ground.
He's outnumbered, and he's just got to retreat.
Yeah.
Now, Blade is obviously striking back right now, but he's sending over 2 more Dragoons, so then Blade will be outnumbered. Oh, no, Blade. Okay. Blade's just putting them outside. He did not fall in for the Feign retreat, which is so many players have fallen for.
I mean, the Blade probably could have pursued that army.
He could, but it really wouldn't be very effective because the thing is, he would run at it, and then he would attack it, and he would either get destroyed or pull his army back, and then it would just be a system of counterattacks, and it would lead nowhere. It's a late game. It would just be counterattacks steadily getting larger and larger. I think what they're going for is a more late game, massive army attack right now, or perhaps it looks like I Love's about to leave for another attack. Or perhaps he's just, as soon as he gets his expand down, he's probably going to send out these Dragoons for another attack. And they're both expanding. It's really just a mirror game when you think about it, which, PvP, it just happens all the time. Well, and it's usually decided by something really small and like one small mistake.
Well, I mean, the tech is quite different. We're seeing a Reaver coming out. We see a support bay. We may even see Shuttle. And, I mean, we're seeing a 3-gate or 4-gate now versus a 3-gate Robo build. So, now, this may be coming into Reaver drop, but we'll see. No, it looks like just Reaver's going to be the main composition of, or going to be part of the composition coming from Island.
So he's going anti-infantry right now, and hopefully, now, I don't really know if you remember another game you narrated, but sorry. Remember, I forget who it was. I think it may have actually been Blade, who had a Reaver, and then he had several Reavers, and he just sort of left him on the front, and then he didn't micro well, and he just sort of left the Reavers on the front, and then once they got killed, the Dragoons were absolutely screwed. Now, I hope he'll be able to I hope I Love will be able to micro that better, because, as you know, Reaver is basically artillery, and you do not leave your artillery on the front. It's just going to get destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna come down to the micro and PvP most always. I mean, you're gonna have the same unit compositions pretty much. There isn't really much flexibility of what you can go. I mean, you could try to mess around with it, but most times it's going to be Zealot. It's going to be mainly gateway units with a couple of Reavers and Shuttles, and we know in the late game with Storm, and then
that is one thing I noticed about PvP and differentiality between TVT and ZVZ is that there's not a lot of variety as far as the attacks. It's usually pretty standard, Zealot, Dragoon, or you rarely see carrier combat or any sort of. It just seems to be whoever can micro best or whoever can. No, it's just basically that whoever can micro best.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's still the macro portion. I mean,
there is the macro portion, but the thing is, it's usually mirror image, like we're seeing here. The macro is almost identical as far as resources go. It's identical. But it seems like Blade is not moving out. He's just sort of moving sideways to scout for new expands, I think. Anyway, it's all about the micro. And right now what we're seeing is essentially the difference is Zealot versus Reaver. And now, if I'm correct, Reaver beats Zealot because it's an artillery piece. But Blade does seem to have a fair amount of Dragoons in comparison to Love. And this is going to be interesting as far as because the thing is, it's going to be the micro of he's going to have to get those.
I just want to point out though that he's actually doing a Reaver drop right now, and we're seeing a very express pickup coming from Blade right here, but not claiming too many victims of that push though. But sorry to interrupt you, but you continue on.
Yeah, no, seriously, it was not a very effective thing. He's got that observer there. He's seeing his army. Now, it looks like he's going for a two-pronged assault. Maybe he's going to do a Reaver drop to pull his army away, and then he can target that second expand. That's what I think he's going to do anyway. Now, they seem to notice that he's going to do a Reaver drop, and he's pulling and he's keeping the Reaver back. And it looks like he may actually put the Reaver with the rest of his army, which is an interesting move because the Reaver is his one real advantage here. I mean, it's not really an advantage. It's just otherwise it's just two of the armies that are exactly the same, except for a few zealots. He's got to get his Reaver down. I
mean, he has to put those Reavers in the back right now, and he's trying to do his best right now. But the problem is, like we were taking over from Blade, though, he has a higher gateway count than he does.
Yep,
so
I love it. Definitely got. I can't tell who's winning here.
I say I Love actually has the advantage right here. It's definitely those Reavers not being targeted by them.
Won this battle, but all is not lost for Blade. If Blade can crank out a few more, he can probably nope, he's going to lose that second.
Yeah, he's probably going to lose this natural. I mean,
he has a High Templar. Now, if he can get a good, does he have Storm yet?
What are we? 9-10 minutes. This would be the time when Storm would come out.
Now, if he could get one good Storm in, he may be able to repel this attack. But it does not look like he's being very conservative with it. He should probably pull his troops back. He's just sort of foddering all these Zealots and Dragoons that he's cranking out one at a time. He has pulled back his probes, which was obviously a wise decision. He's really got to use that high. He's probably trying to build up a bigger army so that he can distract them while he uses high Archon high Templar for Storm. And he did lose that second expand, which was unfortunate. But if he can get, he launched a Storm, and it was not as effective as it could have been, and he lost his high Archon. And I think this is the major turning point in the game. And meanwhile, I Love can still crank out troops, although he does not seem to be. Oh, yep, he's cranking out a few troops. And if Blade is able to repel this attack, it's just going to be met with another wave. So, I gotta say, I think this is a game for Blade. Unless I Love can pull out something really incredible, I think he's done.
I think the one thing he has going for him is he's off of like 8 gateways. So the one hope Blade has for him is that he does have a substantial amount of troops, rallied up. I mean, he could try to produce as much units as he can. He could try to go for like an 8 gateway timing push, but yeah, he's just got a GG out. I mean, there was really nothing he could do. The one thing he might have been able to do is just be able to, think of what like a timing push of 8 base and just go all in with all probes and everything, and just try to force a GG coming out of I Love. But that would be such a stretch. And yeah.
Not much. No, what I think would have been best is if he had just started spawning a few buildings and then foddering some of his not as necessary buildings, like his tech structures, and then start to spawn, Zealots and Dragoons, keep them in reserve, and then once he had enough, then launch a counter assault. But it was over as soon as that second base fell. It was over.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you lose a base in a mirror matchup, it's so difficult to come back from, because you rely. I mean, when you take that expand, you oftentimes are producing as many units as you can, and trying to fit is like you're trying to squeeze in your tech. But I mean, once you lose your army, like you said, it's just a mirror matchup. I mean, once they have a higher advantage and to capitalize on that, know what to do from that. I mean, it's just game over. It's really difficult to come back from.
The real point this match was over, even before the second base fell, was that battle before with the Reaver. He basically had like 2 Reavers, and then
he had 2 Reavers in the back, which weren't target fired down, and somehow
that was the problem, because the thing is, he sent in Zealots and Dragoons, and he had about the same Dragoons as I Love, and I think those were equal. Now, what he had to do was he had to use those Zealots to his advantage, maybe try to get them around and then target the Reavers, which weren't very well protected. They didn't have any form of surround to protect them, and it fell apart from there. He foddered his Zealots accidentally, and then it just became Dragoon versus Dragoon and Reaver, and that's just not good.
I'd be interested to look back and see if Blade actually had a higher Dragoon count, because he had one more gateway to compensate for the robo that what I Love had. So it's a differentiating build a little bit. I mean, you had the Reavers there, but ultimately speaking, Blade should have had a higher gateway army, which might have looked very different there. I mean, we might have seen there that I Love had a better arc. I mean, I didn't really know as you were commentating it, but I feel like, though, that Blade's macro, like I was saying, I mean, macro is a very important part of that as well. And if you're going to be at a lesser, a unit count, no matter what micro you have, you're gonna lose most likely. I mean, especially with micro heavy units like Reavers. Now, if Blade had that might have looked very different, but ultimately it just didn't really do too much. But why don't we go into game number 2 of the series? I think we kind of beat this with a dead stick at this point in time.
Beat a dead horse.
Beat a dead horse. Beat it with a dead stick. Whatever the expression is.
I don't think there's any such thing as a live stick.
Live stick. But, yeah, we go on to game number 2. The game will be on Jade, and then spawning in the bottom left, it will be the yellow Protest Pings I Love. And spawning in the bottom right, it will be the white Protest Black Dragon's Blade here. So we're gonna go change this overlay color because we're cool, and I'll be interested in how this is gonna play. I mean, last game we saw I think Blade didn't macro as efficiently as he possibly could have, and from that it kind of just fell apart because I mean, like you were saying earlier, I mean, what he should
have done in the last game was as soon as he saw that battle going downhill, he should have pulled back his dragoons because then he could have reinforced them and done a lot more damage. And then what would have happened is instead of I Love having like I don't know 4 or 5 dragoons like he had, he probably would have only had 2, and then he could have been more effective. But as soon as he foddered those zealots, it was over.
Yeah, it's gonna have to come down to.
And we're seeing early scouting from both Blade and I Love, and
well, they're the standard timings actually.
Is it standard? I mean, I play Terran mostly.
You bring the Protoss. You use the probe after you scout with the probe after you place down the pylon at each supply.
Yeah. So. And it appears that Blade has found a quicker way, and he found a quicker way to find his enemy's base, and that's going to be an advantage because he's going to have more information. However, it appears that I Love may be looking for a far-off expand, which may not be a bad idea because this top half of the map is totally unused by anyone else. So if he can seize a top expand, he could probably expand his economy under the radar of Blade.
Yeah, I mean, that could work. I mean, a hidden expansion could be potential, but I believe I Love should realize now because of the scouting pattern, he should realize that he's got to be scouting the bottom right-hand expansion, or else this would be a very quirky way to actually scout out. But yeah, so we're going to be seeing, I Love realizing that the early scouting did come out, or not. I was going to say he's going to go back down, but I guess not. I guess he's got to expect top left.
No, he's looking for that hidden expand, and he hasn't found anything right now. And
he's not looking for a hidden expand. He's looking for his opponent. He
should have realized that it took him much less. It was much quicker for him.
Yeah, and that's why I thought he was going back down. But he didn't realize that. He didn't realize.
I mean, the thing is, he should have gone back down because even if, let's say, he was at the top, diagonally at the top. If he goes down and he misses him, he doesn't find him, and he's at the top, it really doesn't matter as much because it's far greater distance for him to send an army, so he's not going to be an earlier attack, so he can still scout it out, and it would just have been a lot. Just remember, scout the shorter ones faster.
Yeah,
you should have gone across and then up and then diagonal.
It's kind of interesting though. I mean, both players are actually going for a 2-gate. And I mean, I'm not quite sure if I Love realized that Blade was going that, but Blade opened with a 2-gate, and that normally tends to mean that you do some kind of push. But I mean, I'm interested in how it's going to play out because that's a very, very loud phone. It's a very, very loud phone. It's a very loud phone.
We know Love is going to go
really, really loud phone. That's a really, really loud phone right there. Oh my god, turn down the mic. It burns my ears. Okay, there we go.
Anyway, so it appears there's a standoff right now, and I Love sees that he has 4 zealots. Blade sees that he has the advantage, however, and he's going to scare off those other zealots, and they're coming back. Okay, he's obviously trying to do a contain right now and reinforce his troops, and he's cranking out a couple more. Now, what could really put this in his favor is if he went another gate, then he could probably crank out some more troops, and then, like, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, he could probably have the upper hand and do some real damage. But it appears that Blade is going Cybercore, and oddly enough, it looks like he's going for a harass here.
Yeah, he's just trying to do as much damage as he possibly can against the mineral line here. I mean, he can't really escape with 5 zealots there. So he's just going to do the most economic damage that he possibly can right now.
So he's going to micro and do as much damage as he can. And he's still cranking out troops, so probably what's going to happen is he's going to micro to the best of his ability, use up those troops, and then And he's microing very efficiently. He just got a double team right there, and he managed to save these two zealots. And he's probably going to go in for a second attack as soon as those other like 3 or so zealots come in.
Yeah, I mean, he may even just lose the zealots straight up right here. Yeah, that Dragoon should be looking like off. But and these two zealots are going to have to retreat now. They can't really do too much, but we're going to be seeing an expand followed up by
here's something interesting. Blade actually managed to get out a Dragoon, whereas Ilov did not. Now that what we saw earlier was that Ilov had done a harass and gotten the advantage, but he sort of wasted his opportunity to get Dragoons tech up, and that's going to be a huge factor. Oh nope, never mind. I did not see those Dragoons.
Yeah, I love is going to be in a better scenario right now. He just has too many units right now, and he's gonna this is what exactly we should have been seeing last game. Is that he should have been pursuing that army, because Dragoons can just start hurting down that army. They don't have to engage. He should push back right when he hits the ramp. This is exactly what he's going to be doing. But that's the main issue. You should.
What's strange here is that it appears that Ilov is not pressing his advantage, which is odd because he could probably punch through his line if he tried to.
He actually couldn't because the ramp is actually not to be like.
There's the oh right.
There's a ramp and there's zealots there, and he has I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
It wouldn't work. It would be too risky.
Right now it's a level playing field early game, but as we see, he's getting an expand, whereas Blade is not.
I mean, no, Blade's going all in right now. I mean, he's off a 4-gate Dragoon.
But he's going to have to attack pretty soon.
Yeah, he has a 4-gate Dragoon pressure coming up. I mean, that's going to be a very strong timing push. Now, I mean, we're not really seeing any kind of Reaver. We're not seeing additional tech. I mean, we're seeing range Dragoon starting to finish up. I believe Blade does have range done, but he's going to be able to, there's this timing. I mean, when he's not supply blocked, obviously speaking, which he's about to finish right now. I mean, he's gonna have this push where he's gonna have way more Dragoons than versus Ilov here. Now, will that be a enough damage? We'll have to see.
To also consider that if the thing is, he may attack, right? But will he attack and punch through? If he does not, he's lost the game, and if he does, he has the opportunity to win. And he seems like he's taking a longer route, which is definitely a flaw. No, I mean it's about the same, but. The thing is, Ilov can still crank out more units, so if he can hold, and he does have a cannon here, so if he can utilize that, which he is, he's bringing his troops back, and if he can utilize that and fight off all these Dragoons, then he's won the game, because he's going 4-gate, he's just started his, Blade's just started his expand, Ilov's expand is fairly prosperous, and it looks like he's bringing his probes into combat, which is a bit strange, but it definitely did give him the upper hand, and I think he's going to be able to fight off this attack.
Ilov's going to be just fine to deal with this. He might have to pull a couple more probes, but I mean, ultimately he has more than enough Dragoons to deal with this. I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, he was going 4-gate Goon, which is definitely all in, but he decided to just cut a wave and put down an expand. Now, we'll see if it's going to pay off, because I mean, what oftentimes happens is that when you take that expand, you stop producing units for a second, there's a counter push coming on to your base, and you don't have enough units. So we're going to have to see if his gateway is a timing push did pay off. I don't really think it did. I think they traded armies.
It seems like an imitation of the last map, where it was sort of like a harassment going back and forth. And then what we're going to see here is Ilov build up a more substantial army and basically overpower Blade, unless Blade can get his microwing up. Because as we remember the last time, the real reason Blade lost that battle was because his microwing was absolute crap. He did not utilize his zealots to run around and take out the Reavers. Now, it does not appear that either one is getting anything but Dragoons right now. So it's really just going to be a Dragoon versus Dragoon, so it's mostly the numbers we're playing right now. But bear in mind that Blade does have the height advantage, which can be a huge contributing factor. And as their numbers increase, the advantage gets taken more and more away from Ilov, because Blade can produce units just as fast as Ilov, because they both have the 4-gate going. It does appear... No, he's not... Okay, he's just building a lot of pilots. But the thing is, if you have 3 Dragoons... if you have 3 more Dragoons than someone, and it's a 3v6, it's a huge difference. If you have 3 more Dragoons than someone, and it's like a 27 versus 30, it makes very little difference. And the height advantage always helps. And it seems that he's getting out Zealots right now, which could be the determining factor if he uses them properly. And, yeah, I mean, but as we saw, he does not have the best micro in the world, so that could be a problem.
Blade has an opening right now, which he may not realize, but he has... we're going to be seeing, I mean, we're seeing I Love going for DTs, and what we might be seeing here is that might just kill him out right here. We see no Robo, and by the time those DTs come in, that Robo is going to be down, and that Observatory is not going to be able to be down in time. And then you also have to keep in mind, though, that these Zealots are, the one thing that Blade has going for him, he is getting getting charge or getting speed lot, so that's definitely going to help him push the ramp and push back the Dragoons, which gives Blade the maneuverability to get off more shots from his Dragoons.
What would be ideal right now for Blade to do is if he used those Zealots, put them sort of in the north up here, and then once I Love leaves with his army, and once they're a substantial distance away, he then attacks with his Zealots and forces the base trade, and he is going to get the DT, and the DT is going to sneak into his base and begin to start harassing, and he did see the DT, both the DTs, and he's, I think, going to force a base swap, because it does appear that I Love has forced his hand, and he needs to... I don't see why he just put down a cannon right now. That would probably be the best idea.
I don't think he has a forge.
He doesn't?
He has no forge.
Not forged, that is a problem.
Yeah, and this is like what I was saying. I mean, like, these DTs are going to be able to ransack the whole base and just do so much. And there we go. We're going to be seeing the all-in push coming from Blade here. Will be able to do enough damage. He does have a good amount of zealots, and he does have charge compared to... Charge is about to finish for I Love here, but will Blade be able to push through this? This is going to be his last chance to actually do any kind of damage right here.
And it does... this is pretty well matched, and the thing is, he does not have any form of observation, so he can't take out these DTs. Now,
DTs aren't even in the main engagement.
I'm talking about the other engagement, right, in his base. DTs are wreaking havoc upon his probes.
Oh yeah, he was going all in. Blade knew about that. He wasn't going to do anything about it. He couldn't deal with the damage being dealt from there. So I mean, you have to keep in mind from that point of view where he just went for all in. He didn't care about what happened to his base now. He didn't care. I mean, the first engagement right there was that he had the upper hand when he had speed loss going in there, but they did get microed. And again, I mean, maybe that early expand coming out of I Love did pay off with the macro advantage, getting up those gateways in the later stages. Because I mean, you want to keep in mind that Blade did win like super aggression, like cutting all tech and going for that 4 gate. I Love went through a 3 gate and was able to get up his tech, eventually speaking, and get up those DTs faster. And then that super aggression kind of put him back, because we just saw, an ace card being pulled right there, and was able to end the game very quickly. Pretty much. It's pretty much how the game ended. But I think that pretty much concludes this series.
Well, now, I'm going to take a quick break. 1 sec, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I believe St. Scully has to go soon, but I'm not quite sure. But we'll see. We'll see how it's going down. So I'll start the next match, unless he's coming upstairs, which could be an option. But without further ado, we'll go into our next thing. But I just wanted to check something real quick. Okay, how do you do this? I'm trying to figure out how to... Oh, there it is. Okay. But, yeah, so we're going to go on the next game of this series between Black Dragons and... Black Dragons and... Who is it? Clan Pain. Now, Clan Pain's 2-0'd so far. This is going to be series number 3, so it's going to be versus Black Dragons Irish and Pain's Hua. And the first map will be on Pathfinder. So, without further ado, why don't we get in this game right now? I think we have to wait for St. Scully right here. Probably take a bathroom break. But yeah, Pathfinder, if we just go look it up real quick, I'll go show you the map. It's a pretty interesting map. Pathfinder.
Alright, and I'm back.
Okay, we're just gonna quickly show off this awesome map, because that's what cool guys do. Okay.
But I have one last comment on the last match. The problem Blade seems to have is that he goes for early game strategies like a 4 gate, but does not attack early, or he doesn't attack effectively early, and that's his biggest problem. He didn't get a forge because he wasn't planning on this lasting that long, and that ended up being his downfall. That's my last comment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, Blade went for an aggressive point. I mean, it was a timing push. It's kind of all-in timing push, if you call it even that. And just delays his tech, and that just puts him in a further delay. I mean, they traded armies, which is fine, but the only thing that, if Blade had an advantage coming out of that early push right there, they did trade armies somewhat moderately effectively. He could have tried to go for it more aggressive, but the problem is, I mean, that base would have kicked in after that, so that extra economy. I mean, we would have seen I Love be able to outproduce the one basing one basing blade anyway. But without further ado, we'll go on to our next series, guys. And like I just want to talk about this map real quick before we actually jump into the replay here. There are 3 spawn locations, and there's a lot of pathways going up and around, if you guys can tell. And also plays out a very interesting role. Oftentimes, all players, doesn't matter what matchup, the third will always be taking on the gasless third. And then it kind of gets a little interesting where this base come in. Sometimes they'll take the space over here, and then sometimes players will take. Oftentimes we'll take the natural and bunker in there, and then take the main base, and we'll see how that's going to play out. But without further ado, because a lot of this map is very, very open. But yeah, so we'll actually get into the game here. We'll just start the replay. So, I mean, yeah, keep in mind, guys, that Black Dragon is at a 0-2 deficit so far, and we're going to see if they can make a comeback here, as they are the clan I do follow from Clan League here. And sorry, I'm just changing the overlay.
So right now we got a TVZ going here, so we're probably going to see a Marine Siege coming out of the Terran.
Yeah, I mean, Irish is going to be spawning at the 9 o'clock, if you want to call it that, as the Blue Zerg, which is going to be competing for Black Dragons. And then spawning at the 3 o'clock, it will be the White Terran, Hua Pain. And we're just going to go change up these players' names here, but Hua, I really don't understand that. It's probably Korean.
Who? Probably just like who or how or something. Anyway, seeing the Overlord drifting closely over, and as Irish said, he is from Oklahoma. Interesting.
Georgia.
Anyway, so what do you think is going to turn out here? What do you think Irish is going to go?
Irish is not in this game right now.
Irish?
Oh, no, Irish is in this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know these players, so I don't know either playstyle. That's one of the downfalls of
well, no, we
doing
saw
a whole clan league. But that's not to say that I can't put in analysis of what we can see from what standard.
No, but also we did see Irish in the earlier 2 games that we saw. Remember, he was one of the 2. He got that early rushed by the Zerg and Protoss. I think it's going to depend on if he's a mixed player or not. If he's going to solely do 2v2, then his timing's going to be slightly off for 1v1. Now that might help him, may not help him. I mean, that's going to have to depend on what the build coming from Hua is going to be. Now, if Hua's going to go standard timing push, I mean, he's probably going to put down 3 barracks and go for a timing push with Sim and Medic. Or we could see 1 barracks FE, which could be a more than likely scenario, but oftentimes it's somewhat hard to deal with the speed lane opening. But it looks like I'm going to be going out off my feet here and just say that, Irish is going for a 12 hatch, and it doesn't look any kind of early pressure. Super early pressure is going to be given off here. He's even going for a gas steal here, so any speed lane opening is going to be kind of denied here. Which, I mean, the gas steal is okay. I don't think it's really necessary, as I really wouldn't think a speed lane opening would even be that plausible in this scenario. But I guess just making sure that he can get away with a 1 Brax FE, which will actually delay his command center. I mean, that's the second time we've seen Irish get a gas steal, and last time what happened is his only opportunity was to go Ling, and that ended up being his downfall because the Pain clan did kill him with superior tech, like invisible units. Now, I don't think he has to worry about that with the Terran, because the only invisible units are Banshee, which is much more late game, and he can probably adjust to that.
StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2, sorry. Or Ghost, essentially.
Wraith would be the
Wraith, sorry. Wraith. Okay, I'll get there. Anyway, Wraith is not going to happen early game, and if it does, I don't think it's going to be very effective, because he can probably just crank out some form of observer.
I mean, I wouldn't count out Wraith yet. I mean, we haven't seen gas. I mean, if the gas comes down now, we're going to be seeing some kind of tech. But it doesn't look like that gas is going to be placed down. It looks like another barracks is going to be placed down. I mean, you also need to understand, I mean, or not that you probably understand already, that the difference between 2v2 and 1v1 is that now Irish has this extra base here. Now, a gas steal, you cannot fast expand, you cannot go 12 hash into 2v2. It's just not plausible. It just doesn't happen. So now he's gonna be able to get that extra gas up. If he wanted to go speed lane opening, he can still has the ability to go that. He still has the links to kill off that gas pretty quickly. I mean, his gas is gonna be a little bit delayed, but yeah.
But the problem we're seeing here is that he's going Ling, and even if he gets massive numbers, we see Hua, or How, however you want to pronounce it, has Marines and has a bunker, and I don't think even if he gets a large amount of Lings, it's going to be very effective against him. That being said, since he killed off that gas, he's probably planning something with gas, so that can probably counter maybe like Muto or, I don't know, Lurker, perhaps.
Yeah, and I'll be interested though. I'm wondering if Irish would go for a Ling bus in this scenario. I mean, his gas is not being utilized. He's getting, I want to say, layers soon. If I don't see a layer, I'd predict Ling bus, but I don't know. I'm not seeing a layer.
I don't think Ling bus is really going to be effective. I mean, if he scouts out his second base, he'd know. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Well, no, it actually could happen because that means you have two hatcheries. He's putting down another macro hatch right now. Well, the macro hatch is actually going to be a layer. I didn't even see that. So actually, probably bus is actually possible, but it could happen because I mean
it might happen. I mean, especially because we're not seeing any form of artillery here by Hua, and that could be a real problem, especially if he goes. What am I thinking of here? Especially if he goes Ling. Because if he goes Mass Ling, some artillery could really come in handy. Especially if he gets a surround on him.
I mean, most time you're going to go straight up bio for like the first timing push coming out of the Terran right here. I mean, we're going to be seeing +1 with Stim and maybe U-238 shells off 3 or 4 racks, probably coming against the Zerg as he's getting +1. So we are going to be seeing a timing push coming from Terran. But, I mean, probably just going to be plugged with these first initial links. He probably, with first initial...
Now, if he micros this well, he can do some serious damage to those links. If he does not let them get, the surround going, he can do some serious damage to his expand. Now, he does have a lot of lings, but he could probably kill off most of those before his troops are decimated.
I mean, Hua is doing a very interesting push. He's going out before +1 is done, and he's getting the academy, and he doesn't have medics. And speed's done. I mean, it literally is going to be done. He's getting stim and speed. Yeah, speed is just completed, which now means this whole army without stim and medics is going to completely get surrounded by, and he's going to lose his whole army right now. And that's what I was worried about. He should have gone out with this push here. He was going the correct build against going for a time push with like 3 barracks, but now he's completely susceptible. He has 2 barracks. He might just lose this game straight up right now. I mean.
That could happen, yeah. I mean, that was just a waste of Marines. He just unit traded right there. And
he didn't even trade. He just completely just lost everything. And now he has to pull SCVs to do.
Now, if he can sort of if he can hold that bunker, then I think he can still survive. But there are a lot of lings here. He's got to repair that bunker soon.
Yeah, I mean, he has fire bats coming up, so he should be okay.
Okay,
but I mean,
fire bats are pretty effective against lings.
Yeah,
as we
I mean,
all know.
The thing though is, I mean, there's multiple things that could have gone way different in that engagement. I mean, Irish could have potentially gone for a run by. I mean, fire bats, may have done some damage, but I mean, because might have still potentially gotten in the base. I mean, Stim still.
He could have just kept the pressure on and killed off those fire bats because he has lings just in production. He's got to attack early here and finish them off because his gas was delayed, as we know, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem if he doesn't attack sooner because his tech is delayed in comparison to the Terrans. That being said, he has many more expands, he doesn't have many more expands, sorry, but his expand came earlier, so his mineral resource is superior, so lings are a great option. However, those can only get you so far, especially in late game, when teching is prevalent.
I mean,
and now we're going to see
I just feel that Irish is going to win this. I mean, this bio push would be so much stronger if he didn't lose those 12, 10 Marines.
Yeah, he would.
Game. I mean, and now we have lurkers, and now the problem is he doesn't have dropships, and he's starting to start tank production, and you're going to start starport to get those science vessels out. But now, I mean, if these lurkers, I mean, he was more from 10 of them, so. As long as these lurkers can get in there, I mean, I don't see how Hua can actually
He seems to be using them as sort of an ace in the hole, if you will. If he pushes with these bio, and for some reason he's not taking the bait. If he pushes, if he pushes with this bio, he's going to take massive devastation from the lings and from the lurkers. Now he's probably going to put the lurkers up front and sort of lure them in. Now he's being smart here. I think he might get a science vessel maybe at some point, but I seriously doubt it.
I mean, we're just starting to see siege tech, so we're not going to be seeing SK Telecom style right here. He's going to go biomech with science vessels to irradiate those lurkers here, but I mean, Irish did have a window. If does not have the window, or it still might have the window.
If you look at Irish's army, he's got a substantial fighting force. He has quite a few lings and a substantial amount of lurkers. And if he could just,
like these lurkers, if they close the distance, I mean that is going to be game over.
That's going to be devastating.
He has nothing else. He has 2 empty bunkers.
Now, if he pushes with this bio right here, I think he's going to get absolutely.
There's actually not enough DPS to actually kill off all these lurkers right here. You might have to stand back here. And he's not stepping back.
He's going to have to get back there and use his defensive position.
And not even borrowing all of them. He's completely lost that entire.
His bunker is empty. Now, he did do a fair amount of damage to the Lings. However, there's still like 10 lurkers out there. Now, he needs to get out of that science vessel fast. Because if he doesn't, the lurkers are going to close in, and then they're just going to do a lot of damage, because then they can just stay there and then steadily push the line up until he completely annihilates him. He is getting a siege tank, which is going to be effective against the borrowing, but I don't think it's going to work very well.
I mean, I know Irish has too many units.
We see that here, and he's just closed the distance. He does not have a science vessel or any form of observation, and this is going to be a huge problem. He's got to pull those SCVs back, and his expand has just been decimated. And the Lings will not get in, but he did manage to salvage his command center, and the lurkers are just going to push right up the ramp. They're going to steamroll right in there. Now, they have burrowed in.
Irish has too many units. I mean, we should just see a GG coming out of wall right now. There's literally nothing he can do. I mean, his tanks are done.
He can't even base trade because he doesn't have the forces to deal with that. And this is why they got rid of lurkers in StarCraft 2.
Yeah,
he does have the science
vessel,
but it's a little bit too little, too late, as it were.
And it's just going back to losing those 10 or 15 meters.
And now
he even has Mutalisks. I didn't even see those, but he even has Mutalisks here. I mean, that's just too much. I mean, why are we seeing a GG? I mean, there's so much. That's so many units. It's gonna be too much.
It's holding on, but barely.
But I mean, keeping this in mind, I mean, we're seeing a 3-base Zerg versus a 1-base Terran. I mean, what possibly can the Terran do at this time? I mean, he can either choose to build tanks, he can choose to produce Marines. I mean, which one do you go? I mean, Marines just die instantaneously, and oh, beautiful.
And the tanks can attack.
And the tanks just lose instantaneously.
And there's the GG
by Wk.4.
That was a very well played game by Irish, especially how he went around the gas steal. He adjusted, and his strategy was just great.
I mean, just looking back at that game right there, the main issue that I have is that he was going for that timing push, didn't get those 10 Marines out in time. Now that push would have been, a lot stronger. It could have, punished that the 12 hatch if he didn't get the Sungans in time. Or he realized the Sungans are there and he stimmed it out of there. And imagine how different that engagement would have been if he had those 10 Marines with any additional tech or whatever. When he had those to kill off those lurkers in the first round. I mean, maybe he shouldn't have engaged with like 10 lurkers. He should have just stimmed back, which is probably not the best engagement for Hua with either of those engagements. But I mean, he didn't have an army. He just lost the army twice in a row, and he can't do that. And especially if you're going, biomech, you're not going to have the 3 or 4 more barracks that you have because you're producing tanks and getting siege check and potentially upgrades for that. Having those extra 3 or 4 barracks going SK Telecom style might have helped a lot more.
Yeah, going off of that, is that if he had more units to begin with, he could have killed a lot of the lurkers before they managed to burrow. That would have been very effective. That being said, his science vessel was not out soon enough, and that early game push with those Marines was just a waste, because for every Zerg he killed, one of his Marines died, and that's not the ratio you want to be working with, especially if you're a Terran, because the fact of the matter is they can get way more Zergs than you can get Marines when in the time that it takes you to get Marines. So it was just a waste of units, and he should have pulled back as soon as he saw that he was overwhelmed.
Yeah, so are you ready to go on game number 2?
I actually have to go.
Oh, you have to go, so...
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Alright, so goodbye, Sam Scully. You can leave the door. But you can come upstairs first and say goodbye. But, so we're going to have my own self-casting now, guys. It's been a pleasure with Saint Scully, but we're going to be getting into this game very, very shortly. I just want to talk about the map right now. It's going to be Tall Cross right here. Things as well. You can even tell tile set is going to be ice. And what is this? What was it? A TVZ? If you go back to later on. Let's see. Wrong overlay. No, wrong overlay. Wrong overlay. Wrong overlay. What is it? 6 seconds. Yeah, what was the overlay? Okay, it was a TVZ is what it was. And then if we go back to the browser. I'm sorry, I do not remember these at all. Okay, 5. Okay, but yeah, going back to this, your main is on the same level as your natural. So aggression is going to be favored to the aggressor in this map. Your natural isn't too hard to hold off, and maps are very open. So it's gonna be hard to take a third on this map, in my opinion, just because how open it is. But we'll see how it's gonna play out, of course. And ZVP, we're going to be seeing 60, so it's actually a 50% win ratio, so this map, I guess, is quote-unquote balanced for this matchup, guys. So we'll just be going into this matchup without further ado. Now, we did see Hua win game, oh no, we saw Irish Kid win game number 1. So Zerg's looking pretty powerful right now, not to say right there, but it's going to be nice, though, because, you know, Black Dragon's finally starting to get some lead in their matchup. So anyway, we'll be going on to our awesome thing right here, and spawning at the, I would want to say 9 o'clock, it will be Black Dragon's Irish, and spawning at the, let's say the bottom right-hand expansion, it will be the Blue Terran Pain Clan's Hua, and yeah. So we're just going. Oh, they actually did kind of change colors here. So Hua is going to be blue this game. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing too crazy to do. Not as crazy as setting up the overlay for the 2v2, because that was absolutely ridiculous right there. I want to say, but Irish is going to be yellow this game. So Irish is going to be yellow. Okay, so let's just now Terran and TVZ. Now, oh, actually, I guess these 3 plays were played overnight, as apparently that last game was played the night before. Apparently he's hungover. But hey, what have you? It is going to be a TVZ. Now, like I was saying earlier, aggressive builds are going to be favored on this map because there isn't going to be a high ground. Now, for Zerg, we'll see. I mean, you know, pushing around is going to be a little bit more difficult. Link bust is very potential. I mean, if you go back to ISL, we've seen a whole bunch of link busts happening on that map as well. I mean, Suzuki, I believe, even did it as well. You could see a 3-base timing push coming from there as well. But you know, we'll have to see if that's going to be likely. I mean, you know, keeping that in mind as well. Now, I just want to alt tab out real quick. I just want to go find one real quick thing. Oopsie. But yeah. Now, probably should actually end the call with Oshin as he's no longer existing on there, and now you can actually hear the in-game audio a bit better. I do apologize if the in-game audio was a little bit too low, but it looks like we will be seeing one base play, one base with speeding. So yeah, aggression is going to be favored in this map here. Now, I really don't know what we're going to be seeing coming out of Hua here. Hua could be going for that early FE with 1-Rack's FE, as he hasn't put down the gas yet, so it doesn't really showing any inclination of taking one factory fast expand. Probably won't even be that likely in a TVC in its own right. But hey, well, we'll see if it's gonna happen. And I'm gonna need I've gone through one of my three water bottles, and first initial links are gonna be popping out right here. Continued production of Ling speed should have started, but quarter of the way done at this point in time here. And Hua might be completely just hard countered right here. He's going for a 1-Rack FE. He is not walled off. It is going to be near impossible to deal with this continued production of links here. Gotta be putting down a macro hatch, or gonna be taking down that what looks to be 14 hatch or 15 hatch with that early game aggression. He will be seeing those links coming out here. He should probably be seeing the timing of that base coming up for that 14 hatch or 15 hatch coming out. Has killed off that first Marine right there. The second Marine should be killed off. He needs to get up a bunker instantaneously on that on that opening to the main base right there. But it doesn't look like, is he even gonna get the cancel on this? I hope he does. Will he get the cancel? He does indeed. Gonna be trying to get up that bunker, but it looks like it's just gonna be too delayed right now. He will have Marines, but they will just be target fire down. Nice link micro coming out of Irish right now. Irish is going to be continuing to produce more links coming over here. Gonna be in the main base, gonna be wreaking havoc all over the main base. Gonna be target firing down the barracks. Nice decision right there. Gonna be killing any reinforcements. Marines coming out right here will be instantly picked off right here. Multiple SCVs coming from 4 right here. And I really don't think Alex is gonna be able to do too much. He's gonna have to try to link micro the best of his ability here. Nice micro, but he's gonna be able to kill off that Terran bunker. instantaneously right there. And yeah, ultimately gonna be able to just pick up that Marine right there. And really, things are not looking good for War right now. Taking so much economic damage. Keep in mind, Irish has taken down that expansion on his natural. There's a GG by War. And which means Black Dragons has successfully taken one lead, so it has been 2-1 this series. Keep in mind that they did lose a 2v2 and the first series so far, so he did 2-0 that game. And, you know, I think, you know what, we just saw build order difference there. A very quick game, I mean, 4 minutes and 2 seconds in that game in his own right, and just hard countered. Pretty much a 1-max FE, not walling off with the proper building placement, does get hard countered pretty easily. And probably wasn't anticipating that, but I feel like on Tall Cross, when you have where aggression is more favored, you know, going for an early FE is a little odd. I mean, especially with, you know, recent VODs being, you know, coming out right now. With recent VODs being come out, we do have someone did join. 1 second, Yavlataran. We did have that come out. So yeah, do you want to do some epic casting with us?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, it is gonna be Clan League again, so we're gonna be going to series number 4. Now I need to get on iCup actually, so how do I do this? Now let's go into iCup. Now I'm not using LAN, so or lag latency, so if it lags, just let me know. I can always put it back on, cause I'm using like Chaos Launcher and doesn't use the lag thing or whatever. So can you get on the iCup server?
Just a sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just starting Brood War now.
Yeah. You seem tired right now.
Yeah, I'm a little. I mean, I've been working this whole week, so you know, this is my first day when I'm free tomorrow, so to speak. So.
What time is it there?
Well, it's I don't know really. It's 8:20, so you know, I just got back from work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, I guess I'm a little tired. I can hear myself. Is that normal?
I was just turning on my speakers on for like half a second. I was unplugging my headphones for a second.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right. Well, I'm logged on.
I have
now,
headphones.
So.
All right. It's gonna be Fitz 1. I just have to go find the replay. No, I can't actually hear it. Okay. By the way, it's live streaming. By the way, if you care, just to know. I finally got it to work. No.
Okay.
Yay for that. How's Swedish Brood War initiative going?
Well, I mean, it's pretty, you know, it's going pretty well, I guess. But we haven't really gotten any answer from the government or anything.
Oh.
But from all I heard, it sounded like it was all fine. So.
That's awesome. Now replays. iCup Clan League Week 4 Division B1 BD versus and this is gonna be our last series, I think. Yeah, because did we have Elena? Did I skip over that series? I must have. I skipped over a series. I did Irish versus War. Yeah. So we have 2 more series. So it's gonna be a Hexa versus BD, Black Dragons Hexa versus Plain Cans Elena.
Okay. What was the game name? Fitz?
Fitz 1.
Oh.
Yeah, I just created the game. Sorry.
Okay, so game name Fitz 1.
Oh, games Fitz and then Fitz 1. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
No problems. All right.
Okay. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I am. I was just looking at your ranking, man.
Oh yeah.
The season just started.
Oh wait, oh yeah, I was going for like troll builds, man. I was going like scout carrier openings.
Okay.
And 1 basing, and I just get ling rushed, or I don't even know. I just die like instantaneously, to be completely honest. Which doesn't often happen. But do you want to introduce our players while I set up the overlay?
Yeah, sure. We have BD Hexa, and what would you say that is? That's the
Black Dragon
position. Or
oh
something?
yeah.
And he's going to be the red Protoss versus Elena, who's going to be the orange Terran up at the 12 o'clock position. And that's about it. What do you know about these players, Fitz?
Actually, this is Hexa. Hexa was 2v2 player for Black Dragons.
Okay.
And that's about all I know about him. He was Protoss in 2v2. So we'll see if that's going down. I mean, like you said before, I mean, times can be different for players in that scenario. So we'll have to see how it's actually going to play out.
All right.
Otherwise, I mean, it's Clan League. There's like 1,000 players. So I know we just go off generic standard play. I mean, that tends to be how Clan League tends to go down anyway. But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, what's this map called again?
Pathfinder.
Oh yeah,
Pathfinder.
it is. I think so.
It's like,
I mean, I can remember one game on this map with I think was it Flash who built all the turrets on this map?
Could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, versus the carriers of somebody. It was ridiculous. He built like 500 turrets or something.
Oh wow, that's kind of crazy.
I
wouldn't mind seeing that.
Fantasy or something.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Yeah, it was a pretty sick game. I think I enjoy this map actually because it kind of makes for good games since they're so close, but still, it's really only close by air, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's typically good. So it's almost like an island map, but with really close islands and a little trickier way to get to each other. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, like TVP, sometimes, like, people, like, maneuver completely around expansions, and then Terran will set up, like, a main, like, area, but they can't split up their mech so far, and then, Protoss can also, I feel like Protoss would actually have an upper hand in the late stages of the game, because mech has to be, split across so many areas, but,
Yeah, but this one is definitely possible to go carriers as well. I mean, like I said, on that map with all the turrets, Protoss eventually won that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his carrier micro, I think it was Jangby or Stork, and his carrier micro was, I mean, it wasn't amazing. It was just that it was pretty simple to micro around all these island-looking ridges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult to defend yourself against carrier micro when you're so close to each other like this. And even if you take out one base, you're so you're so close to all of the other bases of your opponent that you can pretty much instead of just like on a normal map, like for let's say Python or something, if you take out one base with carriers, you'd have to retreat otherwise. But on this map, they're so close, so you can just retreat to another enemy base.
Yeah,
and he can't really follow you with a ground army.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I wonder if we have any inclination. I was hoping that this upgrade coming from the Cybercore was gonna be +1 air upgrades. Now you got me like all hyped up for carriers, but I feel like they're not gonna come now, and you're evil to. Oh, that's awesome! Do you see that like micro trick right there?
Yeah, but that's almost standard nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to build their barracks right next to the command centers.
Yeah.
Just so that you can do that. That zealots can't. They can't touch the Marines, but the Marines can touch the Zealots.
Yeah.
It's really neat. And he should really not send that Zealot there. Yeah, he turns the Zealot around it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll have to see though. I mean, we're seeing like standard two gate pressure coming from him with range.
I don't think so actually. I think this is going into the robotic style. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually be
I mean, there's no real reason to get ops or anything, so it's gonna be shuttle reaver micro, I'm guessing.
Oh, but is there a reason why he wouldn't go for 2-gate Dragoon pressure, which is normally what you go in TVP? That's what I've always seen, at least in TVP, where like well, actually, no, when I think about it, actually, because Terran's one basing, so for the time being, he's one Rex space. So actually, never mind. So that push actually wouldn't do anything. That 2-gate pressure with Dragoon range.
Yeah. Because he's holding his ramp, so and Dragoons can't walk up a ramp.
Yeah, they just die.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let's be honest here, they just melt from Marines.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And is he putting down support bay? No, he's putting down an expand first, I guess. Yeah. Ooh, well, we're everything air. We're gonna see dropship actually. Ooh, vulture drop. It looks like. I wonder if they're going to pay for it, the fact that is expand so delayed, though. I wonder if that's going to pay off for it. Because it's like, what, 500 minerals in like one drop, if it doesn't do any kind of damage?
Huh. He's actually going for obs here, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why he would go obs, but sure, it's always neat to have. But it seemed like a good opportunity to go shuttle, but maybe he scouted the starport or something.
I mean, I wonder if he just doesn't. He might be just doing that just to figure out what the heck is what's going on. You know, I mean, I mean, what does a Terran do off of base? Yeah.
Yeah, he's walking around with his probe too, scouting to see what's going on. Because I think he can kind of sense that something is a little funky here.
Yeah. And I think those vultures are gonna be done a ton of damage if speed's done. No, speed's not done yet, but I mean they're gonna be dropping in the main base. The Drew's gonna be out of position here. That's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see if what his reaction is gonna be here.
Yeah, he's gonna instantly.
Really quick reaction. Yeah. That's really neat, actually.
Yeah.
But his whole army was out of position there, obviously.
Yeah, I know Spider-Man can be placed down in here, but thankfully they don't go off on probes, because that would be kind of ridiculous, and that we got a lot of probe kills right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and he finds that really nice little spot where you can hit the probes that are, below the cliff. That's really nice.
Yeah, definitely speaking. I mean, I wonder how many kills this has. They have 1 probe kill, 1 went down, 2 probe kills. So, I guess, I mean, like, 1 or 2 of them paid off for themselves. I mean, thankfully, though, the dropships didn't get killed off, though, as that probably would be super cost-effective. But maybe going to be put down a couple more kills right here. Yeah, another 2 or 1, probably 1 or 2 more probes going to be killed off right here. And, yep, I mean, would you justify that being effective? I mean, lots of mining time.
Yeah, I think what you have to think about here is that it's actually called opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what you could have done with money instead, so to speak. So when you think about 1 vulture killing 1 probe, what the probe could have done instead, so to speak. All right, I'll explain more. It's like this. I mean, first of all, a vulture costs 75, right? So, and killing a probe, that's 50. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have to remember that probe would have been, mining for pretty much the rest of the game if it hadn't been killed, right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money that you're losing because you're going to have to build other probes to, catch up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely more than 75. So, if 1 vulture kills 1 probe, it's worth it.
Okay.
I think I did some calculations on that before because I study national economics and game theory.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that it was something like if 4 vultures kill 2 probes, it's still worth it.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So there you go, from the economics major there, from himself.
Yeah, well, as long as the game goes on for more than 5 minutes afterwards, I think, or something like that, it's still worth it.
Oh, wow. I'm wondering though. I wonder if this this small ramp, if he gets a dropship over that, would the vulture be able to hit the middle line from there? I wonder if that would actually happen. But we're actually taking engagement.
Oh. Yeah, have a look at this engagement here. We've got 2 siege tanks in the back, and I mean 2 siege tanks can definitely hold off. I mean, this number goes without problem, and he's putting down this really nice supply depot too, which is going to make it impossible for goons to get through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think. I don't see. I mean, zealots could help maybe, but I mean, he's not going to have charge for speed. Excuse me, speed loss.
Yeah. Are you having a look at the 3 o'clock, the sieging there?
Yeah, I heard his siege. I was trying to figure it out. Oh wow, that's really going to put a hurt on the Hexon right there.
Yeah, it's a really mean trick. And maybe he's going to bring some vultures in. Yeah, he's going to bring the vultures in too. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Lay some mines and yeah, this is really nice harassment. Looking all fantasy style here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
He's Gosu right here. Maybe learn from fantasy himself right here. These vultures actually aren't killing out the probes right now, but like you said though, if he kills off 2 probes for 4 drops, it makes it cost effective, I guess. So
exactly. So I mean, like 75 minerals, that's nothing. Right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And then if you lay the mines as well, that's the odds are still that you're gonna get something else out of it. So
I mean, the way I always looked at it is like, as long as you kill off like 2 probes per vulture, I mean, just by like minerals spent, I mean, the vulture has paid for itself. I mean, not only by that like optimistic theory, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
and still the dropship gets away too. Like it hasn't died yet. So I mean, he's like only produced like what 1 dropship. I mean, versus like what some other players may lose like 2 or 3 of them by the time. It's actually not bad.
And he's actually going for another dropship here, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it looks like his there's an engagement coming up in the 12 o'clock position here. We've got some siege tanks moving into position, and we've got goons right outside of this undefended base at 12 o'clock.
Oh, but he's actually losing one of the tanks here. I wonder if he realized though, if he could put the tanks up like over on the north part of the natural. And put them in there, and probably could have done damage right there. But there are tanks over on the 3rd right now. But now the natural's slightly exposed, as there isn't that many tanks. There's only 1 tank right there.
Yeah, and he's actually going around, I think, with a little strike force on the other side. So this is, I mean, it's difficult to know who's going to win an engagement like this. But the engineering base can spot it really early. So, but one thing to note here is that the Terran player here doesn't really have that many siege tanks.
Yeah.
But this engagement is going down now, and these goons are right out of range, and yeah, this is just mean, actually.
Yeah, I mean, after the double prong harass, I guess Protoss needs to do something back here. And he's
just like, we've got the range, and then he kills off. He's killed off a lot of SCVs with these goons, and yeah, it's pretty nice, actually. Yeah, he tried to snipe the dropship too.
Yeah, and
he's gonna deny this base and sniping quite a few SCVs. That's nice.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be. I mean, in a way, if Hexa or Elena was actually looking like really powerful in this game, I would have to say that he would probably just at least equaled it out by the footing of the amount of harass that's been done. He's a complete counteractive base right here.
Yeah, but we also have to remember that and this little 3rd base that Terran had here, it's it shouldn't have been there in the first place anyways. I mean, it's only there because he did some really neat tricks and some fancy vulture micro, and then he was putting on the pressure, and then he put up a 3rd.
Yeah.
So he's not. I wouldn't say he's behind yet.
Oh yeah.
He lost a lot though. So it's a way for Protoss to catch up, I guess.
Yeah, and he's still doing this funky harass again. He's got to be putting down spider mines, making it like nearly impossible for Zell to get anywhere in there. We're also seeing Hexa be putting down a base at the 6 o'clock, but he does have the dropship there to spot that. Oh, and he's actually going to be able to kill off those tanks right there. But I mean, 5 kills off 1 tank, 3 kills on the other one. I mean, that's pretty cost-effective tanks right there for sure. Especially if those were probes too. I mean, keeping that in mind as well. But now Terran's got like Alpha 2 base though. I mean, what, Protoss Alpha 4?
Yeah, it looks like there's a little vulture run by or something here going on in the Protoss main. And he laid a few mines, and yeah, the Protoss player lost 3 goons to that, and now 4.
Yeah.
That's good harassment.
Yeah, these are definitely being super cost effective. I mean, I guess to justify the early starport, I mean, he's done consistent harass. It's done a huge number on Protoss, and even yet they're off of 4 base. I mean, look at the probe count at the natural, look at the probe count of the 3rd, and look at the probe count of the 4th.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess it's
I mean, something else to consider here is that I think he really got the Protoss timing to be a little off by doing this. So.
Oh yeah, by no doubt. Yeah.
I mean, you can see that his macro is kind of failing. I mean, he's not producing out of any of his gateways right now, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know if if he's aware of it and just like focusing on probes or anything. No, he's not. He's only producing probes out of 2 next size. So yeah.
Yeah, and now that 4th is being countered, I mean, Terran's playing this. I'm just surprised though. I mean, I don't know how tolling on APM or demanding this is, but I'm surprised. I mean, you don't normally see that super aggressive style, coming out of. I mean, at least this early on with the dropship micro coming out of Terran.
Yeah, but it's done. I mean, it's basically it basically is what has won him the game here. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Protoss supply. Protoss has 69 supply, and Terran has 106.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that number pretty much just states it right here. And he's still yet to actually kill off this like fourth base. I mean, it's not mining, but I mean, he actually has yet to kill off the CC right now.
Yeah.
And we're even seeing an upgrade advantage, I think. Yeah, we're even seeing an upgrade advantage on the mech as well, and he's still getting, I mean, +1, +2 attack is about halfway done right now too. So.
Yeah, and like I said before, I mean, he's the pros player here. He's not keeping his macro up. He's producing out of 2 gateways now, and you know, the other 4. I mean, they've been standing still for almost a minute now. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing another job with a natural. Like, how many minutes? Like, I mean, this map is kind of quirky because it has like 2,000 mineral patches, but I mean, he literally only has like 500 minerals per patch on the natural.
Yeah, but he's gonna lose his dropship here. Yeah, he lost his dropship.
Oh, fine. That hero dropship coming from Elena right there. It's still kind of bad.
Yeah, and the you know he's really transitioning into a fantasy-esque style here, with a lot of vultures and straight up running them in. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's gonna work wonders. He's just gonna, you know, keep his supply lead or even get a bigger one, and probably he's gonna take a 4th soon. Or, yeah, he's even taken a 4th. I didn't see that. Yeah, he's got a 4th up at 9 o'clock position.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is GG a long time ago, in my opinion. I mean, I thought it was GG, and I didn't even see the 4th. So. Yeah.
Once that 4th base kicks in, I mean, yeah. Sometimes Clan League games go on for a little too long, until they come out. But I mean, I guess like for the player standpoint, I mean, if you have like any chance to come back, I mean, why not attempt to do it anyway? I mean, maybe it's not great from the caster standpoint because it's like, well, he's probably like a 99% chance of losing now because I mean, what is it, 109 supply to?
Yeah, maybe it's because I've been talking about fantasy so much.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's I kind of jinxed the whole game. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
possibly speaking, right there.
Yeah, now they got fantasy time in both of them, so it's going to be like, you know, even if the game turns around, the other guy's not going to GG, and we're going to see like an hour-long game or something.
Yeah. Let's just hope like he starts getting like actual units that can actually attack a Protest army straight up instead of vultures.
Yeah.
That can just end this game. I mean, Protest is sitting off a 3 base, and it's going to be turtling for quite some time right now. So I mean. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, what can Protest do? You can like try to put down a 4th base, but there's 2 entrances down there. I mean, like, what can he do? He can't do anything. I don't know. And he's gonna be going back into the 3rd. Like the whole mineral line is gonna be dead right now.
First of all, what I think he needs to do is to work a little bit on his macro, because those gateways are just standing still. So,
yeah.
And I think, I mean, looking at his saturation looks just fine for, you know, production out of those gateways. It's not that he's got a lack of money or anything.
Oh yeah. I think like the main problem like I'm sure you as a player would probably actually understand this though, is like when you're thrown off from your build, you start effing up like all over the place. Like you just start forgetting stuff. And I mean that happens to me. I mean I mean it doesn't matter what game you play. I mean if it's a strategy game and you're off from your build order, you kind of start messing up and screwing up.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the Manor Pylon versus Zerg. I think when people place a Manor Pylon versus a Zerg, you know, where the 12 hatch would be.
Yeah.
It kind of gets you, even though the actual effect isn't that huge. It's you know, it gets you out of your game, so to speak, and makes you forget about things. Or the gas steal or something. It's not. I mean, it's not necessarily a huge deal, but it makes you forget about things, and then you accidentally play something else a little late, or you forget to get an upgrade or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's denying a 4th base with solely vultures. Like that's that's how far the lead of the game is. I mean, also, talking about that, I'm not sure how well known Sass's draw is, but I mean, he puts down like in PvP, he puts down like 3 Manor Pylons because his Protest opponent.
Yeah.
Like
he's well known. Yeah. He's the highest ranked Protest player, or foreign Protest player. So.
Oh well.
He's good.
Yeah. He just puts down like 4 Manor Pylons in PvP, and then like they cry about it and they can't do anything about it. It's funny.
He's really good, and he's a really nice guy too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, he's got class.
He's got class.
Yeah, but you know, he's I think he's kind of a gentleman style player, you know. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna manner pylon with the ass
He
here.
goes into a game placing down a few manner pylons, but he's still like super mannered, so to speak, when you, you know, when you talk to him or something.
Yeah, I mean, and then you're just seeing this Terran army just steamroll through. Like he even emptied like the whole army. Like that's even it's just he can't do anything. He has 0 upgrades, and it's 20 minutes into the game. People like why? Oh my goodness.
I'm wondering if the Protoss player has seen all the siege tanks, because I think he'd have GG'd if they did. Now he sees all the siege tanks.
I think you could just mass up siege tanks no matter what. I mean, we don't even see Arbiter tech. No, we do. Arbiter is about there we go. He didn't even let the first Arbiter come up by 20 minutes in the game right there. Oh man.
Fun game.
Yeah. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, it was kind of long, but you know, not terrible. I'm gonna go take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. Okay, like 30 seconds. That's all I need.
All right.
All right. That's it. All right, I'm back.
Okay, great. So, just a question: are we casting live or are we?
Oh, we're casting live, yeah.
Oh, we are. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're down to 0 viewers right now. We were at 4. Sorry if you're echoing. I'm sorry. I'm just got to turn my AC a little bit.
Okay.
It's getting way too cold in here. 80 degrees is all I need. I mean, it's way better than what I'm used to though, because what oftentimes happened was I'd have like 14 viewers, and my stream would lag out every like 10 minutes.
Are your speakers on again?
They were for like half a second, like yeah.
Right.
I just put it back. I just put back my headphones on, but
All right, well, we'll keep on going. I think. I mean, what's your stream name?
It's ICupTV_Brood War.
So it's on TL?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it should be. It should be posted, I think. I don't know. Let me check.
I mean, because that's what matters, because that's where you get viewers, pretty much.
Oh, I don't really care for the viewers as much, but you know, what have you. I actually don't really care because I just doing
this.
Well, no, iCup was like, yeah, go cast stuff. I'm like, okay. Yeah, let me see if it's on Team Liquid. It's probably not under featured tab, but I mean, it'd be kind of awesome to be on the featured tab, though.
Yeah, but you need like a crap load of viewers to be that. Yeah, I found you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm cool. We're in a non-featured.
I'll log on to Twitch TV and I'll be a viewer.
You'll be a viewer?
Yeah, I'll be a viewer just for you.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like a bad song from the 90s.
Yeah. So
You're a viewer tonight.
We're actually talking with Ellen won that first game. Now with superb harassment coming out of that. I mean, absolutely crazy shenanigans with the amount of harassment that was going down. And I have to go find this replay. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Okay, well, so, what about Icy Cup, the Icy Cup Clan League? Can you tell me about the bracket and everything?
Yeah, I can pull it up. You enter Cup. So you mean for like team-wise, or like what are you looking about?
No, but just so I know what they're fighting for and everything.
I believe it's just more of like an iCup thing. I mean, they've had a clan league for like 20 times now.
Okay.
So they just have like, there's like a group, there's like 30 different teams of like 8 people or more.
Okay.
And there's Division A, Division B1, Division B2. Now, I think those divisions, those subdivisions are based on skill. I mean, you're having like LRM, SAS, the reps, IWL. I mean, some of these VTV. I mean, like really high level player clans in Division A. Even at UED Sidorian League, but they have been non-existent for the past like 3 months though. They forfeit all their matches. Then you have like Division B1, some less.
But is there like a bracket or like?
Yeah, so like each week there's 9 weeks, I think, or 9 or 10 weeks in your division. You play points. So there's 5 series per matchup. So each matchup would be like Pain versus Black Dragons, which we have today. Now each series, which is a best of 3 between players, gets 1 point for that week. So right now we've had 2. So Black Dragons has lost 2. So that means Pain's won 2 points right now. So they get 2 points so far. Black Dragons won 1 series. So they get 1 point. So it's 2-1 points right now. Now Black Dragons has lost game 1 of this one, and we'll see if there's going to be 2 more games, or if it's going to be an 8, or if it's just going to be a 2-0 series for Pain. So that means they get 3-1. And then if that happens, that means game 5, series 5 still played. So if Black Dragons is able to get 1 more point, but even if Pain wins that game, that means they won 4-1, and they get 1 more point for winning the whole matchup. Pretty much how it goes. And then you get the whole overall points of the thing. Right now, actually, if you look on it, Pain's actually ahead right now. Black Dragons have ranked 5 out of so they're about halfway.
So the top 3 is right now.
The top 3 for Division B1 is Clan Pain, Fire Resist, Yoba, and Salvation Army.
Alright.
Which I've never heard of Salvation Army or Fire Resist Yoba. Yeah.
Oh, alright. Well, let's get into some games then.
Yeah. So again, oopsie. Okay. I'm in, by the way, if you're just waiting for the game to start.
Okay. Just a sec.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, Yavlataran here. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so the map's gonna be longiness. I don't know this map.
Oh god, that map.
I don't know this map.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's I mean I don't play this map usually, and if I remember correctly, it's like a huge map. It's just not that the map is like, it's not like really big map size or anything. I mean more that the distance between the mains and everything is pretty big, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So it's like impossible to rush or anything on this map.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna pull up the Team Liquid thing of it if I can find it.
Yeah, it's a pretty special map. I hear a lot of people have opinions about it too, not just me.
Let's see. Okay, let's see here. That's not the right. Okay, there we go. That's not the right thing. Yeah. I'm looking at it. So right now, what do we have? It's a TVZ. No, it's a PBT.
Oh, it's a PBT. Okay.
Yeah, PBT. Protoss actually has a higher win ratio on this map, so I'm guessing it's 23 to 18. I guess wins. Yeah, this is a very awkward map. I'm feeling like you have your main base actually on the same level. I mean, you can even look at it. I mean, it's kind of weird looking, but I can't really describe this map actually.
It really reminds me of, how all these maps end up with an unfortunate Nazi symbol. What
Oh yeah, yeah.
Get like the Nazi symbol. Look at this one.
Yeah.
They almost got it. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, I can't tell you why Brood War's like that, but yeah, I think there's even like that third is weird. Like mineral only.
Yeah.
How do you get? Is that in the open?
Yep, I think so.
Oh, that's terrible. Why would you ever take that? Oh, okay, whatever. Well, that's gonna be the map.
And I think, if I remember correctly, why this map is so hard for Zerg is that, or Zerg versus Terran, is that to take a third base, I think the third bases are really far, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it way out in the open. You can take it way out in the open, or you take like a whole other main. Yeah, this map is ginormous. And this map's back from 06, actually. Like, they only played it in 2006.
Yeah, well, it's like one of the classic maps, It's always listed. When you read, like, a guide or something about a build, they always list it as one of the maps, the build being good at or bad at,
Yeah.
So if you're going for like a rush strat, they always list Longinus as being pretty much impossible to use their strategy on.
Oh yeah. Well, Elena Payne is going to be spawning, or Elena will be. The spawning in the top left will be the purple Terran Payne's Elena, or Payne Clan's Elena, who has in superb Gosu like harassment capabilities. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And then spawning the bottom, or at the 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it will be the white Protoss Hexa. And Hexa kind of failed short of that harass, and kind of just didn't GG out when they probably could have, but that's okay. But
yeah, just a little fun fact. You know what Hexa means in Swedish? It means witch. I don't know if he's aware of it or something. Do you know where he's from?
I would. Well, let me see here. Let me go. I can try slash fingering BD Hexa. I could figure out where he's from. Yeah. He's from France.
He's from France.
France,
right.
I think
he doesn't even have a clue that his name is Witch. All right.
I think he's from France. That's what his email is. Like blah 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 .fr. Yeah, I'd have to check out a game to figure it out, but I think he's French.
All right. Cool. I mean, you can see here on this map that the distance between these two mains. I mean, if I remember correctly, it's pretty much impossible to get any other distance than this distance. So no matter where you spawn, it's always the same because of this triangle shaped thing on this map. So it's not like Python or anything where you can end up pretty close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, you can even I feel like even this might even help Elena's play just by like the harassing factor, because you can get dropships all over the place. And it's gonna be like it's gonna be so hard to defend. I mean, even like the distance from the main to the natural is actually pretty large. I mean, at least of what I think to see. And then you can even put like there's like all this like extra area like with the water in the top right and bottom right part of the map there. You could just keep a whole bunch of dropships with vultures down there. But we'll see. We'll see if that's actually gonna happen. I don't think it may or not happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, a little fun thing going on right now. Have a look at that simulator in the Protoss main.
Oh, that happens to me all the time. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty good. And then I'm like, why don't I have my gas by this timing? I'm like, no, I didn't get the ball. I didn't start saturating the gas.
And now he does it. So
yeah. I mean, it's even if I'm not sure even if you played in other games. I mean, I do more StarCraft 2 than anything for ladder. But like even with that auto mine, it throws you off because if you think you right click on a mineral patch and you think, oh, I don't even need to pay attention to my command center or what have you, you just have like 8 SCVs by like 10 minutes of the game that just aren't mining. You're like, why can't I produce off 8 racks now?
Yeah. I get the point. I mean. And you can see something else going on here. If you look at this simulator, let's look some more at that. I mean, I think it's slightly mannered the way it is now.
Mannered? Yeah.
No. Yeah, you see, and now he's trying to put down the pylon. I was just gonna say that he should put down a pylon instead, so that he wouldn't manner himself that much. But now he's mannered himself even more. Look at it.
Yeah. They're like going up and down. He should just cancel that thing. Oh my God.
Put the pylon on the right side, I think.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not a Protoss player, so.
Mannered means like it's just not working. Like it just takes longer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Look at the probes. They're just.
Yeah, I know. Like they're spazzing out. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of.
I mean, typically people call it mannering, even though it's not really bad manners or anything.
Yeah.
More like, it originates from there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that goon. Lost more than just the shield.
From what?
From the bunker. Yeah.
I thought. Yeah. Is that full Marines? Yeah, it's full Marines.
Without range or anything, just stepped in and lost all of its shield and a few hit points.
Now, is he doing that like 5 Marine, 4 Marine with tank push with Spider Mine? Yeah, is that what he's doing? I feel like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what it's called. I'm not sure if there's some like term for it, but
I don't know. I think it's an FD, but
I wouldn't.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know anything about PvT or TVP, but I think it's an FD. I typically hear my fellow or my friends.
Yeah.
I got 2 friends that I practice with here in Sweden.
Yeah.
One of them is a Protoss player and one is a Terran player.
Yeah.
And they're always talking about the FD push. So.
Oh, okay. And
look at that goon. It's almost. I mean, the goon is almost dead. And
oh yeah.
He hasn't done anything with him.
Yeah, I just want to point out, though, I mean, my knowledge of this FD push, if that's what it's called, when they go siege mode, Terran's never won. I've never seen it actually work when they go siege mode. Like, I've never actually seen it work. I've never seen it work before. I've actually never seen it work.
Well, you need to get the siege mode if he's going for the 2-gate push that he's going for now. Because, you know, otherwise you can't hold off the goons.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So that's why you need to get siege mode. But hang on, it looks like it's going to be like some kind of late 2-fact instead.
Yeah, I didn't see. I mean, I don't. I mean, when you go for that push, though, when you put them in siege mode, the dragoons just go and get in range and then just start like firing at, or just start killing off the tanks really fast. Yeah. I mean, Spider-Mind oftentimes says like what the FD push will do is that it'll like kill off some like the early dragoons that are placed in.
This is not an FD anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like it could have been.
Oh yeah. And then that's just followed up with Spider-Man. But yeah.
What I think happened was, I think he changed his mind, honestly. I think he saw the Dragoon count, and then he just thought, alright, I'll go defensive instead. Yeah. Because he's 2-gating, and he looks pretty strong, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Other than that really drilled down Dragoon.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he checked the health, so. He probably thinks they're all full health.
Let me see here. Where's the lone Dragoon that actually... No, did it die?
Yeah, it died.
Yeah, I thought it died, yeah.
It died to like one siege tank shot.
So sad. And Vulture speed's coming up. And I guess we're not going to see any kind of Ultra Starport. Awesome action.
Yeah, this is going to be a purely defensive style Terran play with some fantasy-esque harassment, from what I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the one thing that I have problem with a defensive Terran, oftentimes it ends up being like a...
Have a look at this. Have a look at Protoss taking hit, making a double expansion here. That's really ballsy. I think that could do him some well, because that's how a Zerg player would play against an harassing Terran. You know, you just like make a ton of more drones and a ton of more trees, and just like, you know, bring out the cheap stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, these are going to be in time. No, they will not be able to stop the run-by of Vultures in the main base, though. Excuse me. One thing he's going to be able to get in the mineral line here, going to bring havoc again, and definitely going to be very, very cost-effective. This might just end the game. I feel like this might just end the game outright if he's going to be able to get so many kills off these guys, but finally transfer him out, though.
Yeah, well, you know, as long as the Protoss player here, if he can just keep the Terran off a little more, you know, and not let Vultures run into his bases, I mean, he's gonna have an economic boost coming in like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, are you seeing this? He's not reacting with the three Vultures are behind the mineral line there.
Yeah, and it's questionable if he's gonna even, you know, be alive to see that economic boost, because look at his, I mean, the entrance to both his natural and main, he hasn't really closed it off or anything.
And did you see that last Vulture? He had 8 kills. 8 probe kills. Like, we're talking about if they kill off like
no saturation at any of his bases now, pretty much. I mean, this is terrible. I mean, I study national economics, so I think I know.
And we talked about last game, if like a Vulture kills off like 1 or 2 probes, it's totally cost effective.
No,
8 kills? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
exactly. If a Vulture kills half a probe, it's still pretty much worth it if the game goes on, you know. So it's
when you get 8 kills, that's kind of GG. And now he's going for the tank push. I mean, what can he do? He can't produce does he have idle gateways again? Nope. No, he's actually producing 4 Zealots now. So he even got a DT snuck in there, going for a fast DT tech, which I didn't even see, but hiding in the top corner of his base. But yeah, I don't see how this is actually gonna, you know, survive for too long.
I like this push. This is a really nice push, because he's this is actually a later push than it could have been. It looked in the beginning, it looked like he was going for an FD, and then it looked like he changed his mind into going like a little later into a 2-fact push or something instead of making the Marines. And then he just kept making factories. And what's this? This is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5 factory push. That's really good. It's an early what do you say? An early mid-game push or something?
Yeah, I'd say it's an early. I mean, a lot of time Terran.
5-fact push. I mean, that's a lot of people do that, so it's not like a brand new thing or anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, what I've seen him again, I'm not really seeing high level of super high level play. But
Oh,
what?
GG there.
Oh, Joe, there's the GG. But I didn't even see that. I was trying to, but oftentimes actually, Tyrone likes to take out early third and like just sit back in 3 base. And max out, which I've seen a lot of Tyrants be doing, at least in Clan League. But without further ado, that end the series from Atlanta, just getting off that super good harass right there, and absolutely kind of crazy shenanigans. So that means we see Pain Clan, I believe, 3-1 in the series so far. So we have one more. Series coming up, and that will probably conclude this week number 4 of Clan League, and then potentially week 5 tonight, maybe. If Yellow Tyrant wants to cast more, or I'll be by my lone self.
See.
If I'm low by myself.
It's 9 p.m. here, so.
It's not even that late. It's not even that late. I guess.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you've been up to like 2 a.m. casting with me, so.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Sorry, 5. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So it's gonna be.
But we'll see. I mean, I've been working this whole week, so maybe I'll just be sleeping. We'll see.
Michael.
Michael?